Hi guys, I hope everyone's doing well today. I'm here to answer some of your questions, but I'd like you please to subscribe and share the channels and social medias for us. So we go straight on, and it's going to be, first question is Leo. Leo asked me if I have had any beefs with other sound systems when we were doing sound system. Well, answer to that question is yes, loads, Leo, and it goes back a long way. Sound system was set up originally was some guys from the street. We called it Mellow Magic. It used to play, rare grooves and reggae and stuff like that. And we used to build our own speaker boxes and get makeshift amplifiers built and stuff like that. And funny enough, in the little area we grew up, it was very, very musical in terms of who there was living locally, And it was very common practice for local sound systems to sort of share, use each other's speaker boxes and lend each other amplifiers, and not so much records, but you would lend records sometimes, And not too far from where I lived, a few blocks away, there was twin brothers, Carl and Nell Hyman, and they had a sound system. It was called Sabrina. And funny enough, they had another guy who was part of that sound system, who we'll get to in a minute. And yeah, basically we used to build speakers. They were really good speaker builders actually. And we used to share equipment regularly. And I remember there was a place that we used to rent. And sometimes, you'd put on an event there. It used to cost us £60. It was back at Chatsworth Road in East London. And the guy that owned it was a really colourful character. He got his back garden basically, and imagine where the two sides of the fence are. He literally just put a roof over the top of it. So it was literally one way in, one way out, complete fire hazard. And he used it for illegal, dominoes, club. But then what obviously you would do is you'd hire it out and we'd put on events there, So we'd used it a few occasions, I remember us hiring a place once. It used to cost us 60 quid. And there used to be a club not far from us in East London, well in North London, called Phoebe's. And then changed into a club called Trends. And the guy that who actually ran it, God rest his soul, he died, Glenn. He set up a sound system called Trends when the club was changed to Trends, but they were really a hot sound, but a big crowd of them. So we thought we'd hire the venue one Saturday night, which we'd done. And, after Phoebe's closed, all the crowd sort of followed him down there, And we had loads of events like that. We used to get other sound systems. We'd bring in sounds, we'd play together. Sometimes split the gate. Sometimes we'd take all the gate and just pay them a fee. But the same venue one night came up basically sometime in the party. And they wanted us to sort of play there, but also they had another sound playing. Well, it was very common practice back then to have sound systems and what they call junior sound, And this particular sound system was a junior sound to a very popular sound system in Tottenham called Fatman, Hifi, who'd been around from, the 70s. And he was a real big sound system, very, very well known. And this youth sound, I forgot the actual name of them, but basically they were his sort of understudy system. Anyway, I remember us obviously playing, and we played track for track, and that was how you used to do it back then, So we'd play a track and then, have a break, the crowd would react, and they'd play a track and you play sort of off each other. But the rivalry was fierce, and we had some amazing tracks and stuff because our guys really knew music, And I remember us playing and the crowd was really liking us. Anyway, all of a sudden, the levels went down really low, It was like, and the sound had no bass to it. It was sounding really, really awkward and awful, our sound, So when we went to look down towards the end of it, what they'd been doing was they were stabbing the mid-range boxes, which were like mid-range speakers, and you had tweeters and you had like bass speakers, but the bass speakers were what they call folded horns, so they couldn't actually get to those because they were kind of facing the back of the box, and but the wood shaped up. But they were stabbing basically the mid-range, so the levels were going down. Anyway, it was crazy. Obviously, we were mad. And one of the guys in our sound, I won't name him actually because he's doing very, very well as a respectable teacher at the moment, I understand. So he basically had a short temper, had a short fuse, and I never forget what happened. One of the guys who was responsible for stabbing the speaker boxes, he came over towards where our sound system was set up towards the end of this, this hall, and started, to show attitude. And our guy just literally grabbed his head, held it over the record box, pulled out a huge machete, and put it against his neck. And this thing was as sharp as razor. In fact, I've got the proof there. And actually, the thing cut me open by accident one day, you know. And I thought, this guy's going to lose his bloody head. He's going to chop his head off, you know what I mean? Anyway, we managed to tussle it all, and it kind of went down a rumble tumble, but everything was all right in the end of it. But it was strange, and those kind of things, they didn't happen all the time, but the rivalry was very fierce. But getting to the story, the sounds, how they developed, and the people that came from them, because the Soundsystem I was telling you about, Sabrina, who were a couple of blocks down from us, so they had very good friends, were Carl and Elle, and they became Shut Up and Dance, the record label. And the guy who was the white guy in their Soundsystem was a guy called Kevin, and he went on to become DJ Hype, you know, very well-known drum and bass DJ, you know. And again, you know, one of my friends in the Soundsystem, he went on to be the main head of distribution for Motown Records when they came here, and he was obviously also on the Strike Force van back then with another neighbour, a guy called Trevor Nelson, who you probably know now, is a very well-respected radio presenter. And it was like that. A lot of great musical talented guys came from off of the block, you know. And yeah, it was interesting times. It was quite crazy. But hope that answers your question anyway. So keep the questions coming and I'll keep giving you answers.